Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today we are going to be taking a look at Arcane Mage PvP in Dragonflight. We're going to be taking a look at talents, honor talents, positioning, viable comps, survivability, stat priority, gear choices, enchants, all the things you will need to know if you want to get started on that Arcane Mage. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Talents on the left side, talents on the right side. We get the mage points and the arcane points available. We're going to quickly be going over the talents and when to swap each one and which ones you don't ever want to swap. Okay, Ice Block. Surprise, surprise. You were always going to be picking Ice Block, and we just got 5 gifted subs, so thank you, man. We are always going to be picking Ice Block. Spell Steal, always. Mirror Images, always. Overflowing Energy. I actually went a long time without actually reading this ability. This ability is pretty cool. I just picked it because I needed to get it to go down in the tree, so I was like, you know, duh. But your spell critical strike chance is increased by 10, and when you direct damage spells fail to critically strike a target, your spell critical strike chance is increased by 2 up to 10. And when you get a crit, it resets. So that's just built into Mage now, which is pretty cool. I didn't actually realize that until maybe 2 weeks ago or something, which is weird. Next, Incanter's Flow. I'm pretty much always locking in Incanter's Flow as Arcane Mage. The reason being, a lot of the damage happens outside of Arcane Surging, and Rune of Power as an additional cast, and the proximity, and the fact that Rune of Power is nerfed to 30% in PvP means Rune of Power is not that great. Now, with Fire Mage, Rune of Power is instantly cast on Combustion, on your feet. So it's like, okay, I can kind of get value out of it almost every time. But with Arcane Mage, Arcane Surge is not an instant cast ability. It's actually 1.5 minute cooldown and has a 2-second cast time. So if you can't get that Arcane Surge cast off, you're never going to benefit from that Rune of Power. And a lot of the times you're going to have to go with something just like Touch of the Magi, Presence of Mind with the Double Blast Missile Go. So we're going to talk about burst rotations later, but and it might make more sense. But for now, I'm pretty much always locking in that Incanter's Flow. I don't think Rune of Power is terrible. If you want to go for some meme one-shots, go for it, but Incanter's is more well-rounded. Now, I'm always playing Quick-Witted, I'm always playing Ring of Frost, I'm always playing Slow, and I'm always pretty much playing Shimmer. Now, when would I not play Shimmer? Ice Flows is better because in some situations because it gives you the access to Blink. Blink breaks stuns on a 13-second cooldown, assuming you're playing Flow of Time. Shimmer does not break stuns. Okay, so Shimmer is more of an aggressive talent. It's going to allow you to blink in, or shimmer in, DB, sheep. Shimmer in, DB, sheep. All right, with Blink, you blink in, global cooldown, healer maybe gets away, uses mobility. You know, if it's a druid, maybe he shifts. Pally, freedom, priest, dispel, you know, lines of sight, feathers away. Evoker might hover away. Okay, so Shimmer allows you to blink in, or shimmer in, without a global cooldown, and instantly blink or shimmer and DB, right? That is a more aggressive choice. You have 2 of them, and you can play aggressive. So think of Shimmer as the aggressive choice, and think of Ice Flows as a more defensive choice because you have a 13-second stun break. So when would you play Ice Flows? Well, if you're fighting a lot of Rogue Mage and they keep killing you in a kidney shot, just play Ice Flows. Ice Flows kind of counters Rogue Mage. Every time they kidney you, you just blink. Breaks the kidney. You don't die, right? Easy clap. Having said that, it's a bit more defensive. So if they start running away, you can't chase them as well if you had Shimmer. So that's the difference between the 2 talents. Pretty much always you can get away with playing Shimmer in the metagame. Why? Because you don't fight much Rogue Mage. If you guys have queued up the ladder recently, there's pretty much only Demon Hunters and DKs and Demo Locks and just a bunch of melee cleaves running you down, Rets and Warriors and yeah, so you pretty much don't need to play Ice Flows because you don't have that Rogue killing you in the kidney shot. Having said that, if you're watching this video in 3 months from now and all you're queuing into is Rogue Mage, just go Ice Flows. You can blink the stun. It's really good. All right, next. Always play Invis, always play Remove Curse, always play Alter Time, always play Master of Time, always play Blast Wave, always play Big Knock, always play Energized Barriers, always play the Haste, always sit up straight and make sure you're hydrated with that Posture Check add-on. Thanks, Czar. We got Temporal Velocity, always play it. Dragon's Breath, always play it. Okay. Flow of Time, always play. Greater Invis, always play. Time Anomaly, always play. Shifting Power, always play. Ice Word, always play. Frigid Winds, always play. So it's like, okay, what can you move then, Czar? You got to play all of them all the time, don't you? No. Here's what you can change. Cryo Freeze heals you, okay, in your block. If you're with a healer, that is 3v3 RBGs. You know, if you're not like dueling or playing double DPS 2s, you can actually drop Cryo Freeze, and you can put either, you have some options here, okay? One of the options is to play Ice Nova, and a lot of mages play Ice Nova. That's a very common thing to play. I'm actually weird in that I don't, so I would actually probably recommend to you guys, even though I don't play it, to probably play Ice Nova. One of the reasons I don't play Ice Nova is actually pretty silly. I've always used the same keybind for Supernova and Ice Nova. So since I'm playing Supernova, I'm not playing Ice Nova. And I'm like maxed out on keybinds. So like I could probably make another keybind, but I feel like it's just not that big of a deal with the Arcane Mage toolkit. But having said that, go for it if you want. The other option that you can do is take out Tome of Ronin and go improve Frost Nova. This is actually pretty common as well, to go that improve Frost Nova for extra 2-second Frost Nova duration. In fact, that's probably pretty darn good. I might consider changing that myself too, because that 2-second duration I don't think is affected by diminishing returns. So like if it was normally a 2-second Nova before, which is like double, which is insane. So maybe I should be playing that instead of the 2% crit. What else can you change? The 2 points in Cryo Freeze, you could throw 1 into Diverted Energy. You could throw 1 into Tempest Barrier. Tempest Barrier is better than Diverted Energy, so you'd probably want Tempest Barrier over Diverted Energy for sure. You could throw 1 into Tempest Barrier, 1 into Mass Slow. You can kind of have fun with it. You have those 2 talent points to mess around with. I put them in Cryo Freeze generally. But yeah. And then the one other thing is Tome of Ronin. So have fun with those 3 talents. Tome of Ronin and Cryo Freeze. If you really want to, you know, switch things up and go Reabsorption, or if you want to go into Improve Frost Nova, or if you want to go into whatever. But everything else is pretty much locked in like that. Boom, done. All right, that's the Mage talent tree. That's what you can change and what you don't want to change. Let's go to the Arcane tree. To save some time, let's just kind of look over what you can change and what you really can't change, right? A lot of these are pretty darn locked in. Now, you do have some options to change. I have seen some people not play Radiant Spark, and instead of Radiant Spark, they'll play with Prodigious Savant, Arcane Echo. I've even seen some people play Arcane Familiar. Go for it. Those are fine options. I like Radiant Spark for the extra burst potential. If you don't have Surge up, you might have Spark up, and if you have Spark up, you can get good damage off with Spark without Surge. Pretty cool to be able to kill someone with like Radiant Spark, Touch the Magi, Presence of Mind. We'll get into that in a second. Arcane Harmony locked in. This is locked in. This is locked in. Most of this stuff is locked in here. There are some things that you can play with. So the Radiant Spark talent, sure. Supernova, a lot of people don't necessarily run with Supernova. You can drop Supernova if you want. Couple things. One, Supernova is a knockup. It does almost no damage, but it counts as a pseudo interrupt. So if someone's casting Flash of Light, you don't have a counter spell, you can knock them up, right? And it stops them from casting via the knockup, which is pretty great. If they're casting again, you can Blast Wave them. If they're casting again, you can counterspell. And then you can Shifting Power, reset all those things, then do it all again. So I like Supernova. However, having said that, the 3 talent points that you can kind of move around are Supernova, Improved Priz Barrier, and Mana Adept. You don't really need any of these if you don't want. Now, if you want to get rid of those, then you definitely still need this tree down here. So then you'll have to probably go with Improved Clear Casting or Impetus, because you have to get Arcane Harmony. It's very good. So you could do something like this, and with your other talent points, you could go like Arcane Familiar, Arcane Echo. If you wanted to, you could go 2 points Prodigious Savant. I don't think this is a bad idea at all. You're gonna hit a little bit harder with the Arcane Blast and the Barrages. That's totally fine. But this is the build I prefer. I like the Mana Adept, the Improved Barrier for that. It makes me a little tankier, sitting a little less CC. And then, oh yeah, I drop Impetus and go with Supernova. So this is kind of what I've been enjoying the most. Now, the Improved Clear Casting talent, you have to take if you don't take Arcane Empowerment. I prefer playing with Arcane Empowerment. Some mages don't play with it, okay? So if you don't play Arcane Empowerment, then you have to go with Improved Clear Casting. We'll get to that just in a second with the PvP talents, but it's one or the other, and you don't need both. And I guess I'll tell you right now why. This is a bug. Clear Casting normally stacks up to 1. Arcane Empowerment says it stacks 2 additional times, but that's actually not the case. It allows it to stack up to 3, up to 4, and up to 5. That's a bug. It should do 5 if you have Improved Clear Casting and Arcane Empowerment, but it does 5 with just Arcane Empowerment. So if you pick Arcane Empowerment, do not pick Improved Clear Casting because it does nothing. It'll never stack to 7. So that's a bug. Maybe it'll be fixed by the time you're watching this, maybe not. Definitely check out that Arcane Empowerment. I like it. Why do I like it? I like it for a few reasons. One, I like it because it gives me 5% extra missile damage per stack. 5 stacks, 5x5, quick math, 25% increased damage on that missile. Big missiles, big damn, good talent, right? The second reason is because you can spam Arcane Blast to generate and spend mana behind a pillar when nothing else is happening, and you can actually build up clear casting stacks when nothing else is going on, which is pretty nice, right? Nothing's happening, boom, 2 clear casts, and then I can go in and spend them. I like the talent a lot. You don't need to play it though. The Arcane Explosion playstyle is kind of a thing of the past. You don't really need to spam Arcane Explosion like I was just doing too often. And the extra missile damage you can play without. So if you really don't want to play it, that's fine. Mass Invis. You have to play Mass Invis. It's so good. One of the big reasons it's good, and I'll talk about this more in the rotations, but man, being able to Mass Invis, you can actually get a Ring of Frost off without breaking the Mass Invis. All right, and I'm going to teach you guys that more here in a second, but that is probably one of the most broken things about Mass Invis. You can cast Ring of Frost, and there's actually, the Ring of Frost actually will be invisible to your teammates. This is another bug. It's been in the game for like 5, 6, 7 years, however long Mass Invis has been in the game, and it has not been fixed in that long, so I don't think it'll be fixed anytime soon. Next, Ring of Fire. I wish this talent wasn't as good as it is. It doesn't fit the class fantasy. I feel like it's a bit weird to have Ring of Fire as an Arcane Mage. It's also very powerful. It's so good, you pretty much have to play it, especially in solo shuffle. Especially in solo shuffle. So Ring of Fire, lock in solo shuffle every time. Don't need to think about it. But if you're playing not in solo shuffle, you set up your kills without just doing maximum damage all the time. Solo shuffle is a damage race. It's kind of like Mythic Plus. More damage, more better, more good. Ring of Fire fits that agenda, so that's why you lock it in. But in actual threes, it's not just about doing damage all the time. You need CC. You need to push in. You need to get those polymorphs, right? Precog fits that build much better. You fake the kick, you get the precog, you blink in with precog, get the full sheep on the healer, bada bing, bada boom, right? Ring of Fire, better for solo shuff. Precog, maybe better in threes. Other options here. You can play Netherwind Armor, Mass Invis, and Ring of Fire, and forego the clear casting, and then I would probably go improve clear casting instead, right? And maybe drop Supernova for improved clear casting. You can go Master of Escape. You can go Temp Shield. You can go Prismatic Cloak. There's options here. Generally, though, this is what I lock in solo shuffle, and in threes or twos, I lock in this. Okay. One more thing. Against Resto Druids, in threes, I will generally drop Ring of Fire for Klepto. Klepto is just pretty good in threes. In solo shuffle, I generally do not play Klepto. Why? Well, Klepto is good when you do a big go, CC a healer, the healer trinkets, overgrowths, boom, you take all the hots and they die through. But it's not that good in terms of overall value in a game. So in solo shuffle, I generally don't play Klepto. I play Ring of Fire, and I just spam Spell Seal against Druids. Okay, that covers Honor Talents. That covers Mage Talents. That covers Arcane Talents. Let's take a quick look at gearing. Now, I'm 420 item level. Blaze it. All right, we're going with Haste versus Priority on most of the gear here. Haste versus Gems. These you get from the auction house. 70 Haste, 30 Verse. Triple tiered quality. I have my 2 set equipped. I am going to be going for the 4 set, but I don't have it yet. I'm going to prioritize pieces with Haste. Haste is the best possible stat. I have Waking Stats on the chest, Speed on the cloak. I have Speed on the bracers, Plain Runners, Breeze on the boots. I do have Infurious Belt and Infurious Legs, okay? For my 2 crafted pieces, I have the tier 2 enchant on the legs. You could probably up that to tier 3 maybe. 80 haste, 82 haste enchants on the fingers. I have the nice big fierce illuminated diamond from the crafting station for stat and haste on the main stat for the ring. And I have Sophic Devotion. You can play the haste proc if you want on Arcane, but Sophic is main stat proc, which is pretty darn good. And then I'm playing with the insignia. You could play with badge potentially, but I like the insignia because it gives you more value over time. And Arcane's, like I said, going to be doing damage throughout the course of an entire game, which is going to give you more value than that unused trinket over a long period of time. And of course, we have that medallion locked in for that 2 set. That's the stat prio. We got haste verse, a little bit of speed, minimize crit and mastery as much as possible. And next, This is probably the portion of the video that a lot of you guys have probably been waiting for. How do I actually play Arcane? Once I get everything locked in, I'm zoning into a game, what do I actually need to do? In terms of mechanics, I would have a focus polymorph macro, a focus counterspell macro if you want. Focus supernova, I actually have that. If you want focus slow, is nice. And yeah, if you have those focus macros, that's pretty much all you need. I have CS123 as well. But yeah, zoning in as an Arcane Mage into an arena match, your opener is going to look very similar a lot of the time. So it's actually pretty helpful to be watching this video, because if you master this opener, you're going to be a good Arcane Mage, because the opener is like 90% similar 90% of the time, so you're good to go. All right, invisibility. Start, gates open, you want to invis in almost every time. Then you get in position. All right, you want to have people not really line you too much. You know, you want to get into a nice position. You want to do some geometry, potentially trigonometry as well, to make sure that nobody line of sights you. All right, these target dummies I think are going to stay right here, so this would be a good position. Next, we're going to pop mass invis and go for a ring of frost on one guy, and then pop an arcane surge, touch of the magi, one tick of missile, cancel it, palm double arcane blast into a barrage. Arcane orb into some more missiles, maybe another arcane orb or two into another barrage. That is the opener. If you rewind that, watch it back 30, 40, 50 times, do what you got to do, master that. That is the Arcane Mage opener. It's going to get you to like at least 2k rating in solo shuffle if you just do that opener every single game. All right, let's talk about that. What actually happened there? We're invis, they can't see us. We're mass invis, they can't see us, and they can't see us cast. We put the Ring of Frost down, they can't see us cast it, nor can they see the Ring of Frost. The Ring of Frost is on the ground, but they can't see it. On their screens, it's not there. But if they run into it, they get frozen. That's really good for us, really bad for them. And that's exactly what you want to do in Arena. Put yourself in great positions for yourself, okay? We get the Ring of Frost on the ground, we freeze the enemy target. They can't see it. You can blast away people in there too if you want. Next, the Ring of Frost cast didn't break mass invis. Once again, not sure if it's a bug or not, but check this out. Mass invis is here, pop the Ring of Frost, it doesn't cancel it. You can still get a second cast off in the mass invis. This only works with two abilities, Ring of Frost and Ring of Fire, but if Ring of Fire does damage, it does break the mass invisibility. So you want to make sure to either use Ring of Frost or Ring of Fire before using your Arcane Surge or Radiant Spark for the big go. What else? Okay, so you get someone in the ring, you pop the big Arcane Surge on someone. Why are you doing one tick a missile? That's a good question. Maybe you should have been asking that question maybe. Nether Precision, 20% increased damage when you consume a clear casting. Clear casting will always proc when you Arcane Surge. Why? Because it uses all your mana. So every time you surge, you're gonna be able to get a missile. Every time you missile and cancel it, you're gonna be able to get an Arcane Precision. Nether Precision rather, for Arcane Blast increased damage. Surge, missile, cancel, okay? Why do you not touch the Magi before? Because it would break mass invis. When do you Radiant Spark might be another question you're thinking. Not in the opener, generally. Why? Because you're gonna get interrupted every time. Not worth it. Surge, touch, missile, cancel, palm, double blast, barrage, orb, barrage, orb, barrage. All right. This is huge. Watch it back as many times as you need. All right. Give the video a big thumbs up if you need. Type below in the comments saying that really helped me, Xar, if that helps you. All right. Give me a Twitch Prime over on Twitch if you so please. Okay. This is the opener you got to master. Now, what do you do next? Okay, what do you do next? You've done that opener. Now you're getting dogpiled by a Death Knight. You're getting gripped in. You blink away, and then he grips you back, and then you think you're safe, but then a warrior comes in a spear bashed. You're getting owned. All right, now this is what you do in your downtime to survive between the next go. All right, here's what you do. You know, you start here. Let's just redo this opener in 10 seconds here. Let's just play out. You got to use your imagination here. Okay, everybody close your eyes. Okay, no, open them. But everybody think about this. We're gonna mass invis, ring, do the nice big surge go, and boom! Huge dam, owning this guy. Boom, okay, all the damage. Okay, cool, we force bubble and trinkets, and all right, now they're training me, right? That's what's gonna happen. You start kiting. Chrono Shift gives you 50% movement speed and 50% slow on your enemy. Forget about slow. Chrono Shift is your best friend if you want to kite. Let me say that again. Forget about slow. Chrono Shift is your friend if you want to kite. I get a lot of people, yo, Zara, why aren't you slowing? Chrono Shift, man. It gives you 50% speed. It slows them by 50%, and it's undispellable. All right, slow, dispellable. Chrono Shift, undispellable. Chrono Shift, sprint, slow, no sprint. Forget about slow. Chrono Shift. Spam it. 3-second cooldown. Boom. That's how you're going to kite melee, all right? You get behind a pillar. You get out of dodge. This is the playstyle you're looking for as an Arcane Mage. You want to get missiles, run through the pillar, max range, max speed, okay? But say they do get to you. Okay, they get to you. Boom, prismatic barrier. Boom, boom, boom. You're getting owned. Your healer's in CC. Alter time when your healer's in CC. Boom, boom, boom. You're getting railed. You're getting drilled. Demon are on you. DK. You're getting gripped. Boom, alter back to full. Whew. Okay, I'm out safely, right? Maybe I'll blink once, twice. Boom, Demon Hunter's back on you because Demon Hunters are OP. All right, now you're getting owned. Your healer's not healing you. Boom. Pop greater invis. That's a wall. 60% damage reduction for 3 seconds after reappearing. Okay, whew, I'm fine for a second. Maybe I'll read prismatic barrier. All right, then we're gonna pop maybe a mass invis for my healer. I'm gonna pop a Ring of Fire. Why? To get kicks out of the way. Ring of Fire is absolutely phenomenal for an Arcane Mage to bait kicks, okay? You pop Ring of Fire, you're gonna get kicked. That's fine. Cast Ring of Frost, you're gonna get kicked. That's fine. Guess what? They use their kicks on your Frost and Fire spells. I'm an Arcane Mage, baby. We're gonna send the Radiant Spark, Touch of the Magi, Big Palms, Double Blast, Missiles, Barrage. We're gonna be smoking them on that next go. They're scared, not us. We get to do a go. Now, you're scared again, right? Because maybe they survive, you force more trinkets, you get another wall, they're back on you, all right? Say you double blink, you know, you get gripped, you alter, you go back, you blink again, you get gripped again, somehow they're back on you, all right? Now, you either can like Nova, maybe Dragon's Breath, try to get a ring or a Ring of Fire down, but then you're still getting clobbered. That's either gonna be a healer cooldown on you, so an Iron Bark from your Resto Druid, a time dilation from your evoker. It's going to be a cocoon from your monk. It's going to be a sack or bot from your pally, right? It's going to be an earthen wall totem from your shaman. Be mindful of your healer's defensive cooldowns. Track them. Weak ores. Tell me whatever you got to do. Make sure that your healer pops a cooldown. If your healer is AFK, like they are a lot of the times in solo shuffle, just press Ice Block, man. That's your defensive cooldown. Sucks you have to use it, but sometimes you got to use it. Next, all right, get behind the pillar. Send a cooldown reset, all right? Cooldown reset. Boom, 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 boom. Next up, alter time again, right? You're gonna be, you can tank damage for a full 10 seconds. Boom, alter back. Then you're blinking around. You know, get some more chrono shifts, more mass invises. You want to get that Ring of Fire on cooldown if possible because the damage is broken. You want to just keep kiting. Play defensive. Play in a position to not get killed. You do not need to push in. Don't push in as an Arcane Mage. Play back, back, back. Defensive, defensive. Max range, max range. Kite them forever until they get off you. All right. They're running back on you. Blast wave them off. They're running back on you. Blink away. They're running back on you. Blink away again. They're running back on you. Nova. They're running back on you. Invis. They're running back on you. DB. You're running back on you. Nova. You have a lot of tools. Use them, right? Stay full life. Eventually, when you're out of cooldowns, you're gonna die, right? If you have no DB, no blast wave, no Novas, no Invis, no blinks, no block, no alter, no mass invis, no cooldown reset, no prismatic barrier, no mirror image shield wall, then you're gonna die. But you should go through all of those things first. You should survive many minutes before they go through all those defensive. Stay high life, be aware of what's being casted on you, line of sight, position well, stay defensive, stay far back. You don't need to push in for polymorphs. All right, you can stay back. You can win a game 100-0 with no CC because dampening's high in solo shuffle. And threes, you can play off your teammates a lot or play off counter spells. You can kick the healer, do big damage, go for the burst, reset, go again. So yeah, that's what you're doing in between goes. You're resetting cooldowns and you're waiting. Now, when you are in a go, say you survive your 30 seconds, but you want to do more damage. What do you actually do? And let's assume Arcane Surge is on cooldown, you know, something like that. A pretty good way to do damage if Arcane Surge is on cooldown is one, you can try to Ring of Frost on yourself and you get a kick out of the way. Great, I do that all the time. Next, we pop the Ring of Fire. Assume it goes off, boom, Ring of Fire is burning. Next, Radiant Spark, touch, 1-tick missile, cancel, palm, double blast, 3-stack, 4-stack, and then boom, send the brush into the 4-stack. All right, it's gonna do tons of damage. Then Arcane Orb, assuming it hit more than just one guy, then you have another 4-stack barrage, Arcane Orb, another 4-stack barrage, then you can begin to kite again. This is what we're looking at for damage, guys. We're looking at Touch the Magi, we're looking at Palm, we're looking at Radiant Spark, we're looking at Ring of Fire, and we're looking at Arcane Surge. You have 5 ways to deal damage as an Arcane Mage. All right, if you don't have any of these up, Shifting Power, Shifting power, baby. You got them all back up. You got the Ring of Fire. You got the Radiant Spark. You got the Touch of the Matcha. You got the Palm. You reset all of them again. Guess what? Same thing, man. You do it again. Radiant Spark. Touch. Boom. Palm. Double Blast. Clockwork. Learn that rotation. All right. You go again. Big damage. If you have the Surge go up, do the Surge instead of the Spark. Now, if you're ballsy, they have no kicks, you can send an Arcane Surge into a Spark or a Spark into an Arcane Surge and then do the go with both Arcane Surge and Spark. Now that is maximal damage. You don't generally want to do it because if you get kicked on one or the other, you're screwing yourself. But if they're all on your teammates, you're playing 40 yards back and you're like, bro, I can free cast, I got this, no kicks, no interrupts, no way for them to stop this at all. We're good to go. Then you're a madman. But yeah, that's what you can do. You can stay far. You can send the Ring of Fire and then be like, bro, these guys are dead. We're gonna send the Radiant Spark into the Surge, into the Touch, Missile, Blast. Done. Game's over, man. Game is like, then you have 4 stacks. You can just keep spamming those missiles. If they're not dead somehow, you can just keep forever, man. Forever. Look at that. 66, 65, 66 KDs on a single target, man. Like, they're gonna be dead, right? They're gonna be dead. That's Arcane, man. In between the go, I guess I haven't mentioned you can spell steal a lot. If you have free globals, you know, you don't have much of your cooldowns up. You want to keep Arcane Barrage, spell steal, Arcane Barrage, spell steal, Arcane Barrage, spell steal. That's a good defensive play. Why? Because you have a slow on them that's undispellable, speed buff on you that's that maybe is undispellable, and then you have the spell steals which are giving you more buffs and removing their buffs, right? Arcane Barrage, spell steal. You don't know what to do? Arcane Barrage, spell steal. Arcane Barrage, spell steal. Arcane Barrage, spell steal. Permanent movement speed increase. Okay, you're building up haste, you're building up speed, you're removing their buffs, you're getting ready for that next go. You juice them up, you throw the Ring of Fire down, then you send a little 1-2 skidoo, and it's over for him, man. It's all over for him, that next go, for sure. What comps you want to play as an Arcane Mage? We can play in 2s with a sub rogue. You can play the Resto Druid. In 3s, you can play either RMD with an Acero. You can play Windwalker Mage with a healer. Maybe Resto Druid would be the best. You can play Arcane Mage Demonology Warlock with any healer. Resto Shaman's pretty good. Resto Druid's pretty good as well. You can play Arcane Mage Ellie with a healer. Resto Druid's probably a pretty darn good choice for that as well. And then in solo shuffle, you hope you fight melee cleaves. You actually do pretty well against melee cleaves because of the immense amount of mobility that Arcane Mage has. Before I end out this video, I want to re-stress, you don't have to push in. All right, this is a metagame where you can play defensive. You can keep your positioning on lock, right? This is like one of the best things to do as a mage is just kind of do this kind of a thing in between your goes. You know, you can play really far, really defensive, max range, abuse the fact that you can missile while running, okay? Abuse the fact that you can missile through pillars and do this kind of a thing. It's gonna annoy your enemies. It's gonna increase your current rating, your CR, your PR, whatever. That's the video, guys. That's got to be one of the longest, most in-depth guides I've ever done. I just got to quickly say this iteration of Arcane Mage is probably one of the most complex class designs that I've ever played. After playing many expansions and many classes, or specs rather, up to rank 1, this current iteration of Arcane is incredibly, it's nuanced. It has a lot to... you have a lot of things to iron out in the gameplay, so it might take some time, but once you get it, it's feeling like butter. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Talk to me in the comments about what you guys want to see in upcoming uploads, and don't forget to subscribe. Peace. Oh. Sheesh. Oh my goodness. Dude, we just sent, how long was that video? Was that like 30, 40 minutes? Like, I don't even know how long that was, dude.